Today I fucked up by accidentally sending my boss nudes and outing myself as gay. Whoopsie on me. All of last week, my boyfriend was out of town, dealing with a family issue in a small village over. Normally, I'm very tame, but because I really missed him during that week, I thought I'd send him a sexy pic while he was on the bus home. The picture was me, with one of my legs bent all the way up to my head, with my heel at the back of my head. There was a red bow around my dick, and my asshole was gaping open. It wasn't until he came home and I, after an hour of being weirded out by his lack of commenting, asked what he thought, that I realized what I'd done. Checked the messages, and saw who it was for. I am so sorry, sir. That was meant for my boyfriend. You're gay? Highest IQ moment of my life. The asshole told everyone at work, and there are over 200 people at the firm, and I'm in charge of 80 of them. Went to work today, and was met with cold, dead eyes wherever I went. One of the girls working there is forbidding me from talking to her boyfriend, a handyman to whom I have to talk, because she's afraid I'll seduce him. My boss asked me to take some pics of a machine so he could see what was broken. As I was leaving, he added, "No bows, please." Too long didn't read, sent my boss a nude pic, exposed my asshole, and exposed myself as gay. You know, as a kid, you always dream of that magical moment when you come out. This ain't it. Edit. Well, since this blew up, I'm giving a short update. My boss didn't out me. His wife, who also works at the firm, heard him laughing at the pic after I sent it, and saw it when she came to investigate. She's the one who told everyone. I'm in the clear as far as getting into legal trouble goes, but a guy did practically run out of the bathroom today when I walked in. As for the girl who thinks I'll seduce her boyfriend, the two of them are related, and I am not going anywhere near that. Yo, that girl's BF must be doing so weird shit if she thinks that you could just easily seduce him like that, even though he is supposedly straight. Forbidding you from speaking to her boyfriend because she's afraid of you seducing him is hilarious. Normally I'm very tame. BF isn't home for a day. My asshole was gaping open. Old photo. Seduce that girl's BF out of spite. That's fucked up. Your boss told everyone. Also, if that chick is worried about a dude seducing her BF, I think her relationship has bigger issues. Today I fucked up by talking to my mom on speakerphone. My wife has started this incredibly annoying habit of walking around the house talking on speakerphone, like super loud and really annoying. Often, she's having very personal conversations with her friends that no one else should really be hearing either. So, I thought I would show her how annoying it was by calling my mom and talking to her on speaker while walking around the house. It took me a second to figure out because I never use the speakerphone setting. But once I did, I was glad to find out that my phone is way louder and way more obnoxious than my wife's. The whole plan completely backfired. Instead of being annoyed by the annoying use of loud speakerphone, my wife just joined in on the conversation and it ended up lasting the better part of 2 hours. So now, it seems to have just normalized the behavior instead of stopping it. Too long didn't read, tried to stop annoying bad phone habit, instead got stuck on a 2-hour call. My mom has been doing this exact thing since I was a child. Maybe add some good in-ear/noise cancelling headphones to the Christmas list. But seriously, I try to talk to her about the personal stuff. She might not realize you can listen or rather are forced to listen. Yeah, we're going to have a talk about it. With my wife, actions usually speak louder than words, so I went straight to the demonstration. But, I forgot that my life is a bad sitcom now. Oh, moms could rant. Lol, called my mom one time for something simple. Quick question. Forget it. Was on the phone for like 45 minutes. Exactly. I called my mom to ask her something about my grandpa, and an hour and a half later I was telling her all about my purchases from Sam's Club and what I was ordering for dinner that night. I came here expecting to read that you'd put the phone on loudspeaker and your mum started shit talking your wife. My expectations of Reddit have plummeted. LPT, don't solve your marital squabbles via manipulation. Conversation passive aggression. On the bright side, you made your mom's day. Today I fucked up by sticking my finger in a hole it doesn't belong in. Obligatory not today, but happened when I was around 6 at a bank with my mum. TL, doctor at the end. My mum was sorting something out at the counter, and at this bank, in addition to the screens, they had a small area to pass stuff between with a see-through cover and a lot of holes. I discovered that I could easily fit all but my index finger in these holes. For whatever reason, I decided to test whether these holes were all the same size by attempting to stick my index finger in each hole, and ignoring my mother, who told me not to do that as it'll get trapped. The first row of holes were as you would expect. My finger wouldn't go in past the join, so I moved on to the next row. About halfway through I finally succeeded and got my finger in one. I go to remove it and test the next hole, only to discover, to my horror, that my finger wouldn't move. My mother, noticing my finger in the forbidden holes, tells me to stop again or there'll be trouble, and turns back to the bank teller. It takes a little while longer before my mum notices my finger is still in the hole and yells at me to remove it. I explain I can't, and she, quite forcefully, tries to remove it, only to realize that it is now stuck firm and slightly swollen. After a verbal blocking that can be summarized as "I told you that would happen, you idiot," the bank teller grabs a bottle of fairy liquid from the kitchen and attempts to lubricate my finger enough for it to escape. Even after dousing my finger and most of the cover, my finger remains stubbornly in place. At this point the bank manager decides that she needs reinforcements and calls the fire brigade. They expected they'd just send one of the cars, but no, we get the full engine and 6 burly firemen turn up with lights and sirens, followed by an ambulance who had been dispatched because I was a kid. LPT, don't tell the kid the ambulance is only there in case the firemen accidentally chop off their finger. The firemen look at my finger, try yanking it a few times, spray some of their own brand special sauce on it, and then try yanking it again. My finger resolutely stays in place, and the firemen grab a small saw-like tool to help cut me out. Whilst one chats to me, the other cuts through the holes around my finger, giving me freedom but with a fairly large ring on it. They move me to one of the tables, sit me down, and then gently cut into the plastic either side of my finger. Finally they grab the plastic and snap the remaining bit, allowing my finger to regain its freedom. The paramedics give it a look over and I'm free to go home with my fairly bemused mother and my dad, who found the whole thing hilarious. TL, doctor stuck my finger in one of the holes in the bulletproof plastic and had to get the fire brigade to cut it free. Phew. With a title like that, I thought it was going to go very differently. This is the comment that takes me to above 10k karma. Yay, gotta get those clicks somehow. I used to do this all the time as a kid. Got stuck more than once and never seemed to learn my lesson. Apparently I was also notorious for shoving peas up my nose, and the only explanation for that I ever gave for it was that I was doing it to impress my little sister. Why 5-year-old me thought jamming peas up my nose would do that was beyond me. When I was 6 or 7 I stuck a very small seashell up my nose because my brother kept trying to take it away from me, and I thought that was a genius spot for safekeeping. Got stuck and I had to tell my mother what I'd done. It took a pair of tweezers and about 10 minutes to remove. Meanwhile, the shame has lasted for 28 years and counting. I can't believe one of my most upvoted comments ever is this story. Now it's going to haunt me on Reddit just as it does at every family gathering. In middle school, the area where you got your lunch from the kitchen had 2 sliding doors. Each door had these weird locks that would somehow slot into these 4 rings in the door frame. One time a kid did exactly what you did while waiting in line for lunch. The fire department had to come and cut him out too. The next day, those locks were gone and ones without 4 rings were installed. I kept wondering how long those locks had been there, and how many kids had been tempted to put a finger in there, but never did. My mom did something similar as a child. She was 6 or so when it happened. She was going to go camping with her aunt. They were pitching the tent and my mom found one of the sticks you're supposed to connect with another stick to make the frame of the tent. The sticks were hollow, so she decided to poke her finger in it just to see what happened, and of course got stuck. It was a large camping ground, so there were a lot of different people coming to help with different kinds of miracle creams, butter, oils, you name it. My mom's aunt was in panic and the finger just wouldn't come out. And they thought they'd tried it all. They figured they were just going to go the hospital to sort it out, and my mom just pulled the finger out like it had never been stuck. Nah, that's not the correct LPT. You didn't listen to the bland warning of getting stuck, but bet you didn't do it again because you could get your finger cut off. Can confirm. Smashed my face into some rocks because my hands were unavailable, so I dampened the impact with my teeth instead. Never even put my hands in my pockets for 10 plus years afterwards. If you want your kids to learn the lesson, smash their face hard into the lesson.